Hi, welcome to the Holding Hands and Throwing Fists podcast. I got the mic.
And I have the opinions.
Welcome to season 9, episode 3. And babe, you already know what it is. It's episode 123, episode 123.
I definitely did not remember that since the last episode. So thanks for the throwback. Wow, 123 episodes. After all of those episodes of kind of hard work, thought, effort, time, Holding Hands and Throwing Fists has finally repaid us.
How?
The email account, Holding Hands and Throwing Fists @gmail.com, was selected in the Paris Olympics 2024 ticket draw.
Hey, bow, 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 bow.
Yeah, we do need the horn. We were able to buy tickets to the freaking Olympics thanks to Holding Hands and Throwing Fists.
That's awesome. Our personal emails didn't get nothing.
I got a selection email yesterday.
Okay.
But that's days after our other window opened for Holding Hands. Mm-hmm. Imagine all the tickets that are already gone across the world. So thank you, Holding Hands.
So yeah, you could also email us at that email address if you guys want.
Yeah.
And also thanks to that, in my head, it's not random. It's just a French guy who goes through all the email addresses. And he's like, yeah, Holding Hands and Throwing Fists. Okay.
Oui, oui.
They're going to deport you once you fly in there.
I know. They're like, we've heard you talk about France. We don't want you here.
There we have 4 listeners and 2 of them are France. Paris and France. Let's get into a little what happened last week, huh? Erin Blanchfield is super legit and she submitted Jessica Andrade with great ease. You have to think she's going to be fighting for the championship soon. Nothing else eventful at all. We told you about Alexander Hernandez, aka Sid from Toy Story, who beat Jim Miller this past weekend. So good for him. He really needed a win.
All right. Fight news that was just announced, though I think it is official now, is that our boy from Long Island and champion Aljamain Sterling, Aljo, is fighting Henry Cejudo.
Let's go, Aljo!
And he's trying to become the first triple champ. This is an awesome fight, babe, is it not? I'm
super excited for it.
This is definitely George's thoughts, but I will double down on them. Please, Henry Cejudo, can you not be such a fucking dork? I can't. We can't handle it. Like, he is, and he's embraced it, so like that's kind of cool too. But he's like so cringe. Like it. George and I get incredibly uncomfortable at everything. But, he's such a fucking loser. It makes us, like, shudder. Like, it physically makes us hurt.
But I'm going to go off the notes a little bit, even though I promised this week I wasn't. But, like, he's not a loser. It's just this character persona. I know. And it's like, dude, now that we're talking about the Olympics,
I just had that thought.
Yeah, he's an Olympic gold medalist, and he's going to go be potentially the first person, although I think Aljo's going to stop him because Aljo's our boy, and you know that. Let's go, Aljo. But, dude, Henry should just turn babyface and just be like, yeah, I am greatness and I'm going for this. And like, stop with all the cringe bullshit because he doesn't need it. He's so good. And it's just like, dude, flip it.
Like,
people already know
everything.
You already got the championship when you shouldn't have. There's all these people at 135 who should be fighting. So it's like the cringe thing already worked, bro. Bail on it, please.
I know. I'm so with you.
And this is it. This is our Holding Hands and Throwing Fists hit right here. They say you got to crisscross the things that you love the most. So it's like fighting, the Olympics, and just being fly.
He should be top 5 of our favorite fighters.
Yeah. We saw him beat our enemy, TJ Dillashaw, live at the Barclays Center.
We did, and I talked to his coach.
Yeah.
We should be biffles. Henry, get your shit together.
Come on, man. And that was also a historic event because I forgot about this until someone said it recently. I think it was Ariel on his podcast that, just his small, tiny fucking podcast. That was the first UFC on ESPN ever. And we were there.
Oh, yes.
We didn't watch it on TV because we were there.
Pretty cool.
All right. See, that was a good bailing of the notes, but I'm getting back on track and we're still under 5 minutes. So look at that.
Yeah, let's get to something not as positive.
But it's going to end up positive. Stick with us for 30 seconds, will you? William Knight lost a bizarre fight in which he didn't do anything and really froze up in there. Mike Heck, our boy, wrote an article for MMAfighting.com about how upset Knight was about freezing up, and he didn't really have an explanation why. It just kind of happened. But how can it not happen when you're fighting in a cage in your underwear? Like sometimes. Then he went on to talk about how all these assholes were really nasty, writing really nasty shit to him in his inbox, and that he shouldn't be in the UFC, and that he should kill himself and all this bullshit. Holding hands and throwing fists says to all the people who thinks it's a good idea to take time out of your day to direct message anyone who is a professional writer and write anything besides, what did I say?
Writer.
Fighter. Fighter, writer, whatever. Honestly, if you're a professional at anything and you go into someone's inbox and write anything besides something positive or flattering, go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. And also, I've been doing the new caption videos on Instagram, and I love the fact that it bleeps it out whenever we swear.
Thank you, babe. Those videos are fucking awesome.
Thanks. That being said, since I wrote these show notes, the UFC has cut William Knight. And as our boy Jed Meshew said, it was indeed an objectively bad performance. So, William Knight, we're sending you love and hope you're all good and get to where you want to be. And if that's back in the UFC, then we can't wait. Good luck, bro.
I love this. Bummer, William Knight. He owned it. He moved on. Fuck all those other people who are jerks for no good reason.
That's also because we're putting ourselves out a little bit more now with the caption videos and stuff, and people who shouldn't be listening to it on Instagram are. But that's holding hands and throwing fists. We get worked up and we swear a lot, but we really just want to show love. So there it is. That's holding hands and throwing fists. Let's go, mama.
That's right. So in terms of the UFC, next week is a light heavyweight fight night at the Apex. And honestly, we literally have nothing to say about it. So Bellator.
Hey, time for the same old story with Bellator. This week I was trying to do the show notes. Couldn't even find out through a Google search in less than 30 seconds, which is really all 30 seconds is even long for an attention span. Yeah,
is really long.
But I spent, I might have even spent a full minute searching Google to find out if there's ever going to be a Bellator event ever again. And then I had to use my memory to recall that it's in Dublin today. So how is this a company that works? Tell me, babe.
You know what? I often have opinions and I go down a rabbit hole of shitting on these organizations, but I'm not going to, because thankfully I was willing to do a little more research. Prelims start at 11:30 a.m. today. So by the time Goog posts this, you have an hour to listen and get yourself settled to start watching the prelims Saturday, February 25th.
Hurry up.
The main card is at 4, so you have a few more hours in case you're in your car and you're like, oh shoot, there's a Bellator card today in Dublin. Let me rush home. So, as we already told you, there are not many big names on the card, just a ton of Irish fighters, but that's the best freaking part of Dublin cards. You watch for the energy, for the good vibes, and for the fun crowd. Yesterday, we were driving on the belt, and George was really close to getting off at the JFK exit so we could go to this card. And weirdly, I was the one that said that was crazy. But babe, as I was typing these notes, I decided next time
we've said that.
No, we're
we've
going.
Said that.
The next Dublin card, we're fucking going, because we could have gone to this one.
Well, I was thinking about it when I really would have driven there, but we didn't have our passports. If we had our passports on us for whatever reason, I would have just been like, we're going.
We still could. We were early enough that we had time to go back.
I wasn't trying to do that on Friday.
Yeah. Anyway, if you want to come next time, let us know. The one story that I did not mention because I was just so hyped about Dublin and the Irish fighters is that it's the first fight for Yaroslav Amosov since he won the welterweight belt in 2021 for Bellator. Yaroslav was scheduled to defend his belt in May 2022. However, that was when war broke out in Ukraine, Yaroslav's home, and so he gave up his belt and freaking joined the armed forces forces of Ukraine. Like, what the fuck? This guy is just freaking amazing. I really hope he does well in this fight against Logan Storley, who currently has the interim welterweight belt. Nothing? No love for him?
I have mad love for him, and also I was just spacing out but thinking about this because Holding Hands and Throwing Fists, we like good names, right? And then when we've liked good names and shouted them out, they've done historically well. In 2019, when we started this podcast 4 years ago, I remember saying early on, yo, Bilal Muhammad, it's just a good name. It rolls off the tongue. And then it's like, bro, look at him. He's crushing it.
He is crushing it.
Beneil Dariush, awesome name. Crushing it. Should be going for a championship.
Song your dong, not so much. Can't get them all. Can't get them all.
Yaroslav Amaslav, good name.
Good name.
Let's go.
All right. Let's talk about some other random things we like and we're looking forward to.
Dan Hardy, your boy, who is a famous English pioneer of MMA, has just announced he is going to be working commentary for PFL.
Get out!
Yeah, this is a big move.
I didn't know that.
He's going to be a lot of other things with the organization. This is actually really exciting. He's one of the smartest minds in the game, and hopefully he could change PFL for the better. And honestly, there's a lot of energy around PFL. They got Jake Paul, so whatever. There's that energy. You want to call it whatever it is. You know, they're potentially talking to Francis Ngannou. We, of course, are big PFL marks. We've gone on New Year's Eve, even though we didn't tell a lot of people about it. And then we went for the first Holding Hands and Throwing Fists field trip. We went with, 10 deep to the Madison Square Garden Hulu Theater to watch it. So Dan Hardy, welcome. And I think they're doing their first thing in England soon. That's why they kind of are linking that together. So that makes sense.
That's very cool.
Anything else about that before we get into MMA fashion fails?
What?
Yeah, we're changing it up this week.
No,
we're changing it. This one we're gonna just, I guess we'll keep it. All right, whatever. No, I'm gonna keep in line with the notes, and
Good.
We're gonna start off with a technical. What did they say with Janet Jackson? Like,
malfunction.
In the 1800s.
A wardrobe malfunction.
Yes, thank you. That's exactly what I wanted. In the 1800s, Janet Jackson had a wardrobe malfunction. And we had one last weekend where Jessica Andrade said that she lost focus because her breast slipped out in the fight against Erin Blanchfield, who then shortly after took her down and submitted her.
Oh my gosh.
That sounds awful. You've been on the record saying that they should be like super coverage and make sure that they don't have the sports bras that things can easily pop out of.
Yeah.
That's awful. It also sounds a little bit of like TBS because I think she was losing the fight overall. I don't remember.
Ooh.
I don't know, because this is a rare occurrence where you were passed out sleeping and I was actually kind of awake listening.
I know.
To the fight live. Rare thing. But MMA fashion fail. Sports bras. Come on, Venom. Fix that.
Yeah, I just have to point out that sometimes George gets fancy and he puts links, especially to like MMA fashion or MMA boo-boos, so that I can see something if he's the one who did the notes. And he put a link for this store. I was like, he did not link Jessica Andrade's boob out just so I could see the fashion film.
I mean,
thankfully he didn't. It was an article about it. But that was some TBS to get me to click on a link like that.
I mean, that's what we do here. MMA fashion fails. Since we just talked about Dan Hardy. Dan Hardy had his famous red mohawk from back in the day. And
absurd.
I was really grasping at straws for MMA fashion fails. I actually think it was kind of cool, but also he was pretty devoted to it. So I don't know.
I think it's safe to call it a fail.
And I don't know, because normally we talk about how much we love Laura Sanko's style. She was on MMA fashion last week on episode 122, but she posted again, I guess her first time doing color commentary again with that green blazer with the shirt that has like the choker and then the whatever. I need to get the actual technical terms for this, but it's women's wear and I'm not the best at it. I don't like it, but I don't know. What do you think about it?
Since you posted on our Instagram fashion fail for Laura Sanko's green blazer and like the see-through high neck shirt underneath, I was gonna message you right away. And then I was going to talk to you about it.
Yeah.
And then I forgot about it until right now.
And then did Melissa already beat you to the punch?
No. Did she say something about it?
Yeah.
Oh.
You go first.
Okay. Well, I fucking loved her fucking outfit.
Did you?
I loved the suit and the blazer. It was a full suit.
It was great.
But you're right. in your notes, you're making it clear that it's the shirt underneath. In the post, you made it seem like the whole dang thing was a fail. And so we are on the same page. Thankfully, I don't have a hot take.
Okay.
That was a close call, though.
Holding Hands and Throwing Fists super fan Melissa said that she liked it.
Yes. I wonder if she liked the top underneath, too. See?
All right,
maybe she, too, was confused like I was.
Let us know. You know that part of the reason why we're not super popular and a huge podcast in the space.
Wait, we're not?
I mean, listen, we may not be as big as other podcasts, but who else got flown to Fight Island multiple times? Who else got flown to UFC Apex and stuff like that? You know, we've got this stuff. Who else was in negotiations with Bud Light Seltzer? Now, look, they didn't give us the money, and where do you see? Can you even find a Bud Light Seltzer anymore?
You can't.
No.
They're the worst out
we
of
won
all
that stuff. But, you know, we don't like to actually cause drama. We like to give praise. So you know that every time Laura Sanko, or what's our girl's name?
Megan O'Leary.
Megan O'Leary. I don't know why I just blanked on her name. I was thinking about Joey B, her husband. You know, we always show love and tag them, and we're always like, "You look beautiful, girl. Yo, you look handsome, guy." I didn't tag Laura Sanko in this one when I wanted to say MMA fashion fail, because I got to show love and respect.
Good. That's very nice.
But I bet you MMA Twitter would have been like, "Oh," and then we would have popped off. But whatever.
All good, babe.
Time for the new segment.
No fighting.
No fighting. No fucking fighting. No fighting. No fucking fighting!
All right, so we're still figuring this out, because I thought no fighting was supposed to be just an opportunity for us to talk about all the stuff we wanted to talk about. That doesn't have to do with fighting. But apparently I've been told I have to keep it to 1 point.
I think that's best, and that's what we've been doing
So that's why I'm asking you, our listeners, to write in to either Instagram, Twitter, Holding Hands and Throwing Fists at gmail.com, or just text us, because if you're listening, chances are you have our personal phone numbers. And let us know if you want to hear more than just 1 point. But we're going to give you the 1 point that we agreed on. We don't watch movies, but we rewatched the first Shrek last night, and it still holds up. It's hilarious. It's good for the kids and adults and everyone in between, and it's short.
It was so short. Granted, our company could not have been better to make us sit down and watch a movie, which is why we sat down and watched the movie. But it's hilarious. I mean, every kid's movie tries to make jokes that adults get and, you know, adds another layer there. But Shrek was really good. And now, do we go on? Do we watch Shrek 2 now?
Okay, we have to. We have to watch Shrek 2.
Do we just do it? Or now do we have to watch it with Matthew and Thomas?
I think we do have to watch it with Matthew and Thomas, because it comes full circle.
Okay.
But also, Shrek 2. Well, first of all, Shrek 1 was I think one of the first movies that was really like that. That was for...
It was, yeah.
It was like a game changer. It wasn't like everything that's coming out now, and which we don't watch, whatever. But but also, Shrek 2 was one of our earliest dates ever.
Could that be?
Yeah, check out what year it came out.
I'm looking it up. 2004.
Yeah. Yeah.
You were dating then?
I guess that's when we started, sometime in the 1800s.
Why are you referencing the 1800s?
Because that's what I decided. That's how freaking old I feel every day.
Okay, wait. Did you know that Shrek is based on a picture book?
No, but let's get it.
Okay, now I have to buy it.
All right, anything else?
No.
Okay, everybody, we love you, and continue to hold hands and throw fists if necessary.